Emerson knew what he was talking about. I am at an age, we all pretty much are at an age, when I feel I'm at a wedding every other weekend. Not a month goes by when there isn't an announcement of a recent engagement or some future date that Soph and I must mark and save. People get married every day. And while today is one that will forever be etched in the memories of Christy and Brandon, their wonderful families, and all the characters of their story who are present today, in the greater context, this is just another day. So why do we do this? What is the meaning of the theater of it all? I mean, look at this place. It's incredible. It's something I've been thinking a lot about, not only in preparation for my words today, but as the years continue to slide by and more of those close to me begin new lives in matrimony, both holy and otherwise. I won't bore you with the history of marriage today, so worry not. You will have to take my word for it. It is really, really old. So what has made this old dog endure for so long while so many of our traditions have melted away? It's because the things that last, the things that we take with us, are those that are centered and built on a foundation of love. Elizabeth Bradley put it well when she said, "Love doesn't make the world go round. Love is what makes the ride worthwhile." I think the common thread which binds all our traditions is that they try to give meaning to things that are too vast and great for us to understand. We love nothing more to be in settings like this, beside one another in celebration of things beyond our comprehension. Things we just can't get a hold of. And love is always there. It is the best part of the ride. It is why Brandon and I try to see live music every day. It's responsible for that feeling that is coursing through all of us right now as we look up at these two. It's why funerals are so crowded. But today is built around love. Love between two of the most passionate and enriching people I've ever known. And I have to think that that is why we keep doing this. For me, the most impressive and telling truth about Christy and Brandon's love, and maybe all love, kind of a big love, big L, is that it is universally stupefying. Nobody gets it. It's as beautiful as it is bewildering. There are many husbands and wives with us today in this audience, and we've had the pleasure of meeting with over the weekend, who have been together longer than I or most people up here have been alive. My parents, whom were Christy and Brandon were very kind enough to include in today, sitting right there, celebrated their 41st wedding anniversary last week. But they are just as clueless as the rest of us, trust me. Nobody gets it. And I think what is so incredible about this incomprehensible joy we call love, we know it is the best thing we got. It is the driving theme in all of our stories, but it is the part we understand the least. It has the power to dissolve everything around us until only it remains. It packs our cars with all our earthly belongings and drives us to Chicago without a job. It negotiates remote completion agreements with master programs at major universities, creating curriculum on the fly. And when it has the texture and the depth of the love that Christy and Brandon share, it comes before everything else. And that is what inspires me most about you both, and why I think today has importance beyond you or any of us here. Today is a celebration of what life can be when love is put before all else. When you embrace the indefinable and build out from there. That is why Christy and Brandon have ended up so happy here in their new Chicago home. They didn't overplan it. They trusted in their love, and they built out from there. And they are building still. So it's not always going to be easy, guys. And again, this is just the beginning. You have laid the foundation, and it is sound. But as you know, especially in the lieu of the recent flood that has caused you to move out of your new amazing apartment only a couple months into the lease, old Bill Shakespeare was right when he said the course of true love never did run smooth. The house is going to shake. The floorboards are going to work. But if you guys stay true to those initial bricks, your love and life together will never be torn down. This is just the start, guys. And I can't wait to see where it goes from here. And as Whitman said, an author whom Christy and I both hold very dear, the strongest and sweetest songs are yet to be sung. Now, we are going to introduce another leader, whom is a very good friend from Brandon's childhood. So I'd like to, I guess we won't give him applause, but please, John, come on up. John Watkins, ladies and gentlemen.
Can everybody hear me in the back? Okay. On July 24th, 2011, I asked Brandon and Christy the same question. Can you think of a time recently or in the past where you realized you were with the person you were going to marry? Christy talked about 2 moments in their relationship. This is a quote. We went home from Christmas break, and he had tracked down my address. He didn't ask me, but he somehow figured out my home address and sent me these snowboarding goggles that I really want. And instead of thinking it was creepy, I really liked it. That's love. That's love. Here's another quote from Christy describing a later moment. She said, I graduated from college. Brandon stayed for a victory lap semester. When he graduated, he told me that he really wanted to be in Chicago. I didn't want to leave the South, so I moved to Raleigh without consulting him about it, which was really effed up. Instead of putting himself first and moving to Chicago and telling me to meet him there when I was ready, he got an apartment in Raleigh, a mile away from me, and stayed there for 3 years until I was finally ready to do something different. That's love. Christy went on to say, I don't know if I was subconsciously testing him there or whatever, but that was a big deal for me. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I asked Brandon the same question. This is what Brandon had to say. I think most recently, it's been going on business trips or going home or being away from her. I feel like half of my life is just empty without her. For instance, recently I went to Coachella Music Festival.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
And I was watching Kanye perform. And I thought that this experience would be so much better if she were here. Like amplified by 1,000.
Yeah, man. I thought I held you just as well as she did.
I felt like that on business trips, or Coachella, or coming home to Cleveland. That feeling that she's an extension of me hits hard when she's not around. That's love. So, thank you, Brandon, for creepily stalking Christy and sending her those goggles. Thank you, Christy, for not consulting Brandon about your move to Raleigh. It was a dick move.